All right, guys, let's talk customs today. Or would you call it high-end production? Because it's not like a one-off? I don't know. We'll figure that out as we go. How about that? And you know, it's a Marfione custom knife, so we're going to call it a custom for now. So it comes in a cool box. This is the Socom Elite Warcom. Okay, I know, that just rolls right off the tongue now, doesn't it? But it comes in a cool packaging. Comes with a microfiber, kind of a logoed, branded microfiber cleaning cloth. And a very cool metal, I think it's titanium? I don't know, I got a magnet right here. Let me see. Because I didn't check. Yep, so it's a titanium card with some of the information, blade steel, all that stuff. We'll talk about it, just like roll through the specs real quick. But this is born on 11/2019, but it's brand new. Sherman, who loaned this in, literally just bought it from Blade HQ. So it sat on the shelf, I guess. It sat on the shelf somewhere. Maybe at Blade HQ for 2 years. Maybe at Marfione Customs and they just shipped them, you know, a replenishment. I don't know that, of course. But it's a brand new knife that was made in 2019, which I think is actually kind of cool. And it's serial number 5. There is another one still at Blade HQ. So if you want this exact knife, there's number, well, I don't know what serial number it is. But there is another one still there on Blade HQ. And it's $1,500. Okay? It also then comes in a nice padded zippered pouch with a metal. Again, I'm assuming titanium. I don't know. I should check this stuff before. Yes, titanium logo patch that can either stick on the front here. I've seen them on the front sometimes, and I've seen them on the inside. So this one came on the inside, and there you go. And then it comes in a kind of a microfiber type of, you know, bag that goes into the little pocket in the zippered pouch. There you go. Enough about the packaging. What's cool is Sherman, who is a new viewer. I mean, he's been a viewer, but we've only been chatting for a little while, he and I. And he ordered this from Blade HQ. It arrived at his house. He didn't even open it. He just put it in a different box and shipped it to me, which I think is very cool. I'm just honored by that when people do that, especially on a higher end custom. Okay? So, yes, let's get this out of the way right now. It is tip down carry only. You can't change it. It's tip down. That's just how they are made. So if that's a problem for you, well, then I guess you don't need to watch the rest of the video. I don't know what to tell you. It's tip down only. Okay? So let's dive into the specs, and then we'll talk about some good points and maybe not so good points. It's just a hair over 5 1/8 with the little breaker. I included that in the 5 1/8 inch. Overall is 9 1/8. Again, a little plus. The blade is 3.95 with a cutting edge of 3.89. The blade steel is CTS 204P. If you were quick, you saw that on the metal card. Blade thickness 0.188. Overall thickness 0.550. And it weighs in at 5.4 ounces. And it runs on bearings. When you look this up on the Marfione website, on the Blade HQ, everybody's website says it runs on washers. So I talked to my friend Alex over at the Knife Box channel, who has taken a ton of these apart because his coworker has about 40 or 50 of, you know, he's a huge Marfione fan and collector. And Alex has taken several apart. We Googled around a little bit and found a bunch of pictures. And yes, it is bearings. Now the bearings are in Teflon cages, I believe. It's a plastic, I mean, I don't know for sure, but it looks like it's Teflon It looks like a Teflon washer if you could, and I doubt you're going to be able to see it here, but you can kind of see. It looks like a Teflon washer. That's really the bearing cage. I was surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised because the action is most certainly like bearings. The way it just, I mean, it's bearings. But everything said washers, and I was tripping. Okay? And then the inlay here, and let's zoom in and talk about it, is Stingray, which I think is pretty cool. I've thought about getting a watch band made out of Stingray skin. This is what they call a reverse Tonto with a two-tone blade finish. So it's got the apocalyptic finish and then just black. DLC coated. I love the finish on this knife. The bronze or tan that they call it, I don't love that part. I mean, it's made really well. It is aluminum scales, but it's not chalky. Okay, I've talked a lot about aluminum before, and it's super chalky oftentimes. Not so much from Microtech or Marfione, but in general, sometimes aluminum can be chalky, and if you know, well, then you know. But it's done really well. It's got a breaker back here. Don't know if that's necessary. It's got a lanyard hole. And then it's got this pocket clip. And there's like, oh, yeah, there's nothing. There's no branding on the blade whatsoever. Yeah, no, there's nothing on the blade, which I appreciate and I really like. So they do put some branding here on the clip, which I'm not a huge fan of branding on the clip either. I'd rather have it on the blade, quite frankly. But they do put the serial number there. They put the date. They put made in US, or they put USA, so it is USA made. This is made in USA. They have several factories here in the States. And they are just now, and we're not going to get into that in the comments, but I'm just going to say it before somebody makes a comment. Yes, Marfione is doing some collaborations, they're calling it, with Reich knives in China. They're having a Socom Elite Delta Bravo version or something. I don't remember the model. They're having a model made there in China at Reich Knives. Okay, there you go. You make stupid comments about it, then I'll just delete those comments because I just don't need the drama. Okay, so the pocket clip is not my fave. This nub here hangs up on my pocket going in and out. Now I know that, or what I understand, because Chris Reeve does a lot of these types of clips too, is it's so that me as the owner, if I were the owner, I could bend that in such a way to make it have more or less tension. Right? So I get it. They're making it user-friendly. I've never messed with them. My Sebenzas, it worked okay the way they were and things like that. This one does hang up a little bit going in, but more so coming out of the pocket. So what I've learned on this one is instead of just slowly pulling it out of the pocket, you need to kind of grab it and pull it from the pocket. And that worked for me on this particular knife. Now, again, I'm not the owner. I'm not going to start tweaking the knife or the clip or any aspect of a knife to my liking because I'm not the owner. Okay, I'm going to leave that to Sherman when I ship this back to him. Okay, Nick, I have some of his knives here from New Zealand, who again, he bought them new from DLT Trading. And those ones I am going to handle and break in. This needs no break in. This thing almost takes your finger off if you're not careful and thinking about it. Because it's so stinking quick. But awesome. Like, this blade shape, I just love. And the pocket clip being at the top, or tip down carry, really does not have any effect on me in my hand at all. It works just fine. If it was upside down, like it just, the clip works perfectly fine in my hand. It just is a little bit different when you pull it from your pocket. You're pulling it out this way. So you have to then kind of rotate it in your hand, and then you're ready to go. Well, if it was this way, you're pulling it out. You're kind of then jumping it into your hand to then open. So, you know, I don't know. I've done a tip up or tip down carry video. You can go look for that if you really care. For my opinions on them personally, I always have them tip up carry because that's just how I have always carried my knives. And that's a different video. So Sherman, thank you very much for this. It was a pleasure to be able to see it. So let's do a couple quick size comparisons. Let's just start off with the AA battery and the D cell battery. Okay. Gonna mix it up. How about the Spyderco Delica just to get us started? And it's a little dirty because I've been doing some unboxings with it. How about the Sharpie next? How about the, oh, I don't have the right one that I wanted, but how about the Hellraiser P series? Okay. Again, this is not everybody knows this size, and my size comparisons are trying to give you guys an appreciation and understanding of what it is, right? I'm trying to think if I've got anything else here. How about the Kubi KB237? One of my favorite budget knives out there. And, well, because it's here, how about the Delica that I was so graciously gifted by Keith? We'll pull the Delica out. High quality, fancy, like this is the end-all be-all knife. If you know, then you know. So, there you go, guys. This is the Marfione Customs Socom Elite Warcom. A fantastic piece of engineering. It's just a pleasure to fidget with, and it's a pleasure to carry because Sherman did tell me to carry this, so I did carry it for a couple of days, mostly around the house, and I really didn't use it to do anything, cut open anything. So, but yeah, it was great to have, and thanks all for watching. Let me know what your comments and thoughts are on this down in the comments below. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.